Ethiopia is an ancient country that's located in the Horn of Africa. It's composed of more than 80 nations, nationalities and peoples, each cherishing its own rich cultural, religious and historical heritages. Among these is the Sidama nation. The Sidama nation belongs to the Eastern Cushitic linguistic stock. The word Sidama represents both the people as well as the land where they live. Since 1991, when the new federal structure was made under the new government, the administrative unit that's called the Sidama Zone has been established within the southern nations, nationalities and peoples regional state in Ethiopia. The capital of both the Sidama Zone as well as that of the regional state is Hawassa, which is found on the banks of Lake Hawassa. Sidama is also well known for its high-quality coffee production. The Sidama have their own rich cultural and historical heritages that deserve to be well protected and preserved. Among these is the fichii ceremony. Fichii is a ceremony of New Year which has been celebrated annually for centuries among all members of the Sidama nation. According to old tradition of the Sidama nation, the term fichii itself is derived from the name of a Sidama woman called Ficho. After she got married and departed from her birthplace, Ficho kept on visiting her parents and relatives once every year on the New Year festive day of the Sidama nation. During her annual visit, she used to bring with her a delicious food called burisame, a meal prepared from the dough of awasa, false banana, with a good deal of butter along with milk. The dishes are presented and consumed by all the invited neighbors of her parents. The leaves of false banana are warmed on fire and designed in shapes to be used as dining plates for the guests. Following her death, her relatives and the people in the surrounding areas called the festivity of the eve of the New Year of the Sidama nation fichii, after Ficho in her commemoration, and has stood since as one of the unifying symbols representing the Sidama nation. There are sequences of events which are performed throughout the Fichii New Year celebration process. One of these social events performed first is known as Lao, literally meaning observation. The Ayanto, who have the wisdom of traditional astrology, are responsible for deciding the date of Fichii holiday in advance by conducting careful observations of the movement of the moon and the constellation of the 5 stars which are known as Busa in respect of the moon. After the actual date of the new year, which varies from year to year depending on the positions of the moon and stars, is reckoned and identified by the Ayanto, they announce the date to the clan leaders known as Guru. Based on this information, the clan leaders summon a meeting, Songo, to be held with competent adults and elders among the community who are known by the name Chimesa. At this meeting, they thoroughly discuss and make the decision to fix and proclaim the date of the ceremony to the wider community. The act of announcing the Fichii day to the crowd at Gudumale, where large numbers of people gather for marketing purposes, is termed as Lalao. The announcers hoist dry leather of an animal on a long bamboo stick and declare the actual Fichii day to their community wandering in the market. There's also a culture of personal purification and promotion to a new year by individuals. Hence, every member of the community who has been involved in any sort of dispute or quarrel with someone else is required to reconcile before the Fichii holiday. Moreover, those women who had left their husband's home on the grounds of minor disputes and have been residing with their parents are expected to get back to their normal life and home for the Fichii celebration. On one of the days close to the Fichii celebration, the elders perform the ritual of slaughtering a goat at a cultural space known as Gudumale and undertake thorough observation of the mora, white fattish layer of an intestine of the slaughtered goat turn by turn. The specialists, with their deep skill of reading mora, announce the result to the public whether the year to come is blessed and promising or not. The date on which Fichii is celebrated is known as Fitari. The day's celebration starts with the event known as Huluka, which takes place in the afternoon. In this event, each household prepares a door-like shape, ark, using wet bamboo tree and erects this on a free space in front of the residence. The head of the household passes through the bamboo-shaped entrance first and is followed by other family members and the cattle. This cultural event is also practiced at community level at Gudumale. The event symbolizes the renunciation of all the bad things of the past year behind and the acceptance of the new year with fresh thoughts and good wishes. In the evening of the fichii holiday, a cultural dish known as burisame, which is prepared from the dough of false banana and butter, is served in a cultural banquet dish named shafeta, along with some milk, and consumed together communally. The dish served on the day on which fichii is celebrated should not include meat, and cattle are not slaughtered. This is because the sidama want to show their close attachment to the cattle by wishing that the new year reserved good things for the cattle too. Any animal meat that happens to be available at home must be kept outside the residence for 3 or 4 days after the fichii day. The day following the fichii festivity is known as Chambalala, New Year. On the first day of the new year, warm water shall be filled in unbroken utensil, usually tilte, small jar, and some butter is put on its mouth. It's served early in the morning, and the head of the household and other family members wash their face with warm water. They then rub their faces with butter, served along with water. This is a demonstration of praise and gratitude for being able to see a new year. On this day, children wander from one house to the other in their locality, singing and expressing their good wishes, saying, Aide Chambalala, Happy New Year. The neighbors' mothers respond with words of blessing, saying, Ille, Ille, may you live long enough to see many new years. And they serve the children with a dish of burisame. The other main event which takes place on the day of Chambalala is the event of feeding the cattle, salty soil known as bole, brought from Lake Abaya by scattering it in the kalo, reserved grazing field. The celebration which follows Chambalala is known as Shashiga. On this occasion, all groups of the community, ranging up from adolescents to elders, come out grouped according to their respective clan to sing and dance a traditional singing and dancing known as Ketala. In this traditional dancing, the front line is taken by the Chimesa, senior elders, and the back row by youths and children. The singing and dancing of Ketala includes both praises and condemnations of leaders based on their deeds. The singers and dancers of Ketala enter the Gudumale one by one and sit down to receive the blessings and advice of their clan leader to promote the good deeds of the previous year and to renounce the bad deeds. They also urge all community members to work hard and create awareness among their respective subjects to protect and preserve the environment they live in. Side by side with the Ketala dancing and singing, unmarried girls also beautify themselves and go to play with their peers in rows, facing each other, clapping their hands. This traditional singing and dancing of the girls is known as hore. On the other hand, boys play love songs and dance with girls. In this special songs and dances play known as faro, unmarried boys and girls dance together in rows, facing each other to opposite direction, moving back and forth and bending down their neck during fichii festival at Gudumale. This creates opportunities for the youth to get acquainted to each other for possible engagement and marriage in the future. Faro is indicative of the fact that women are equal participants in the cultural events of the Sidama nation. During this time, brides come out to the public space accompanied by their mothers-in-law and neighbors and meet their relatives officially, completing their bridal period. There are also horse races during the Ketala dancing and singing. On the occasion, the Southern Region Police Brass Band presents a parade. On the annual fichii conference that's held at Hawassa, study papers are prepared and presented on the historical origin, development, significance, safeguarding methods, and the likely benefits of the inscription of the fichii festival on the representative list of the community members.